Well, hello and welcome to week 4, day 1 of projects from the new Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. This week I am focusing on the More Than Autumn bundle, and this comes with a stamp set and dies, and it's kind of covers the bases of anything you like. You've got your pumpkin spice, you've got your cocoa, you've got your pumpkin pie, you got your apple cider. These can be donuts or they can be bagels with cream cheese on them. You've got in there the dies have got, well, the stamp set has got a little cinnamon stick, it's got a straw. You've got the marshmallows for the top, the sprinkles for the top. You put whipped cream on your drink. And then the dies even have a tiny little die, and that actually is for the little whipped cream on top of your pumpkin pie. So this set has got you covered for whatever cards you want to do. I am going to focus on, I thought this was a cute card that they had made. It's very simple. It's pretty much just stamps, paper, and ink. It does have the twine, but you don't have to put that on there if you don't want to. And then it used the plaid stamp, which I don't have, but I happen to have the Iconic Celebrations DSP, and that has a really nice plaid background in it. So I thought, well, I will just use that instead. And on the other side is pumpkins. So it's the Iconic Celebrations DSP has got some nice papers to go along with it. So we will get started making this cute little card. Again, like I said, it's mostly just stamps, inks, and paper. To get started, I did cut the paper down. I'm using the thick white for the background, or for the card base, and it's just your normal card base of 5.5 by 8.5. Get my arm out of the way. So 5.5 by 8.5, and then fold it in half. So there we go with our card base. And then I have this nice little, I cut all these papers out. I never know what size I need to cut. So I cut these out of old colored paper, colored cardstock that I had around, and I have all the measurements written on there. So a regular card size is the 5.5 by 4.25, and then the next one down to center it would be 5.25 by 4, and then so on and so forth. So I wanted it to be just a little bit smaller than the card base. So I decided to go with the 5.25 by 4. That's a good one. That just gives it a little bit of white frame from the card, and then I am going to offset it. But so I cut my DSP down to 5.25 by 4. I like my handy little paper size. So I cut that down to 5.25 by 4. And this you would want to, since my card is landscape, the pattern is just fine. If you were if you were going to use something that had an orientation, you'd want to be sure that you were cutting it the right way. But the plaid, it doesn't matter. So I did that, and then these little pieces, I cut them. I took the stamp and I kind of measured how big it was, and it's too tall by like 1.5 inches wide. So I just cut my two little strips of paper that I'm going to stamp those images on, 2 by 3. This way I can get the cup on there, and then I can also get the little whipped cream as well. So we'll go ahead and get those stamped on there. And these stamps have got a very good crisp image, I feel. They stamp very, very well. So, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp them in the Memento Tuxedo Black because I am going to be coloring them with the Stampin' Blends. The one in the catalog looks like they used the watercolor pencils, and I don't have all the colors in that, so I'm not going to use those. I went ahead and I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends to color them in. Okay, so I'll just get my stamp inked up, get that kind of centered on there, and I will go ahead and stamp both cups while I've got the stamp on there. Okay. Like I said, I think these have a very good crisp stamp to them. So I'll take that off of there. And then the one is going to have the whipped cream on it because it's going to be like a pumpkin spice latte. So go ahead and stamp that in the Memento as well. And you just kind of want to put it a little bit on top of the cup. It's okay if it goes over just a little bit. And then for the other one, you can put marshmallows if you want. You can leave it blank. I'm going to put marshmallows, but I'm also going to put a little cinnamon stick because I like my apple cider with the cinnamon stick in it. I haven't ever tried it with the marshmallows, but you never know. So there's the marshmallows. And then I will get the cinnamon stick. It's cute because it has a straw and a cinnamon stick. A little striped straw. Striped straw. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. And then I just kind of want to make sure I have that there. Right there. Perfect. Okay. So there's those. And then I'm going to actually put a pumpkin on this one. Just put the little pumpkin on there. So that we know that that's the pumpkin spice drink. And it is officially fall, so those drinks can officially be out. You've got your people who are like, nope, not until the first day of fall. Wait until summer is over, and then you've got the other ones who are wanting them as soon as September 1st hits. So then the other one, we're going to do the little apple. I do like to keep apple cider packets on hand. My son likes those and my grandson likes to drink them when he comes over, so I do like to keep them on hand. Okay, and then the other thing that I'm going to put on there is the little sprinkles. But the sprinkles, I'm going to put those in the pecan pie color because they're going to be like chocolate sprinkles. So get those inked up. Okay. And you just kind of want to put those right on top. Alrighty. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to color them in. So I'm all done with the stamp, this part of the stamping. Now what I am going to do is I'll start with the apple cider. I'm going to keep the cups the same color. And I'm going to color them in with this ivory Stampin' Blend. So I'm just going to go over just around the cup and get it all nice and colored in. And these are like I said, these are the Stampin' Blends, so they're the blendable markers. Okay, and then I will go over with the bronze, and I will go and do like the shadow part of it. Put a little bit of a shadow above the label and below the label, and then go over the creases in the cup. Okay, and for the cinnamon stick, I tried it and I think the copper clay looks good, so just gonna go over it kind of like that. So there we go. Now for the apple, I'm using the light cherry cobbler to color it in first. And then I will go back around like the edges with the dark cherry cobbler. And this just gives it just a little bit of depth in there. Okay. And then for the little leaf on top, I'm using the Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to take that and fill that in really quick. Now for the label itself, I'm not going to use the blends because that will like blend it. And I don't want it to really do that. So I am going to use the Crushed Curry watercolor pencil. And this I'm going to go ahead and color in the label. And this just gives the label a little bit of distinction from the rest of it too. Okay. So there we go with our spiced apple cider. And now we will do our pumpkin pie. So again, I'm going to take the ivory and I'm going to color the cup. So just go over the cup. And you don't really color with the Stampin' Blend so much as you just kind of pull your colors across, really. Because if you color, you can get them really, really deep and really saturated, and you really don't want that. So I'm going to take the bronze and I'm going to go over like the shadow. The crease on the bottom. Okay, and for the pumpkin, I'm using Pumpkin Pie for the color, and I'm going to go over it with the lighter shade. The Stampin' Blends come in two shades. They come in a light shade and a dark shade. So you can do your base with the one, and then you can go back over with the dark to fill in shadows or what you want. So I'm just going to go along the edges of the pumpkin. So there we go. And then for this label, I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green. Just going to kind of go around the label. I'm not going right up to the stamped image, just to give it a bit of a border, like a white border. There we go. So there we have both of our images for a card. Next, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, which says, "Hello, fall season," which that's what we're in. Now for this, I'm going to lay it out. Well, first off, I'll go ahead and I'll do the hello over on the corner. And I'm going to just lay my stamp out down like that. That way it goes flat. It kind of, sometimes they kind of like these long ones, they kind of like to curve, but if you just lay them flat and then put your stamp on them, it'll look better. So I'll show you in just a second with the other one. Okay, so I'm just stamping hello right on the end. Okay, and then the other one is fall season. So now I've got to find fall season. That's the only part that's kind of hard. I'm trying to see what they all say. Okay, there's season and there's fall. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I want these two words to be together, I'm going to line them up here on my glass mat, and then I'm going to take my block and put over. That way they're all in a straight line, and it's got a nice little space between them, but this way I'm going to get them put on there in a nice straight line instead of stamping them one at a time and trying to space it correctly. So then just kind of put that in the center. There we go. I think that is the nicest thing about these polymer ones, is that, you know, before with the blocks you just kind of had to hit and miss kind of situation. So sometimes you got it, sometimes you didn't. Now I'm going to try to do the flag cut. Here's where I just don't do very good at this, but I'm just going to cut ever so slightly up there, the center, and then I'm going to go in from the ends up to that cut. There we go. Yeah, it's just a slight banner. Got a little bit stronger on the other one. But now I did want to add just a little bit of something to it, so I roughed up the edges. So I just took my finger and just roughed the edges up a little bit. Don't have to do that, but I just wanted to give it just a little bit of extra. I just kind of felt like it needed it. Okay, so there is that. Now, to put this together, this card together, and then I also kind of roughed up the DSP as well, so just taking my finger kind of over it. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just my preference. I like that. I can't think of what the word is called, but I like that look of the torn. So, but that's just me. And the word is escaping me right now. I know that there's a word for it, but it's escaping me. So then I'm just going to go around the edges. Okay, and then I'll just do one more up the center. And then, like I said, I didn't just put it on there right in the center. I kind of lopsided it just a bit. Okay, and then these are just going to go on there I'm going to go ahead and tape them down, not pop them up, because I'll pop up that. So I'll start with this one. And see, there's another thing about the alcohol markers. They do go through the page, so you do want to be sure that you're coloring something that you're not going to do something with the back. So put that one on there, about there. And then this little guy is going to come down a little bit over here. Okay, now for the back of this, I am going to apply some adhesive, because I am going to use that, the linen thread, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a bow situation on the back. So I just cut a little bit of thread. Okay. So we'll do, and then we'll come around, if it'll come around for me. There we go. And down this way. Hope I can make that one just a little bit bigger. So we'll bring him out just a little bit more. Okay, so just like that. And then I am going to pop this one up with my dimensionals. So we'll put them, oh, I forgot to tell you how big that piece was. He's just an inch wide. But I'll show you. If I would quit throwing him around, that would be nice, huh? So there we go. That adhesive, when it sticks to you, it sticks to you. It just does not want to let go, and then it's almost like static cling. No matter what you do, it's right on you. But I did want to show you what size this was. This little piece right here, he is an inch wide, and then he is 2 3/4 width. Okay, now we're just going to put him up here at the top, over along the edge, and down a little bit. So there you go. There is the front of your card. Now for the bottom, or for the inside, I'm going to take a strip that when I cut this was 6 by 6, so when I cut it off, I cut off another little strip that I'm going to put on the inside. So we'll do that really quick. Okay, and I'm just going to put it along the very bottom, and this way it just brings the outside to the inside of the card. Well, I cut it short. I don't know how I did that. That was weird. Well, I know what I did. Yep, I measured it the same size as that. So I will cut up a little strip and adhere it there. But what else I'm going to do on the inside, what I thought looked like a really cool sentiment was, there's this one that says, "This calls for," and since on the front of my card I have an apple cider and a pumpkin pie, I'm going to pull out the apple cider. So there's the apple cider. So there's apple cider, and then there's the little apple, and then there's the and then I'll put the pumpkin, And I want pumpkin, there it is, and pumpkin spice. Okay, where's the spice? So this calls for apple cider and pumpkin spice. So kind of want to not hit my camera, that would be nice. So what I'll do is I'll get this lined up a little better. That's what I do like about the grooves on here. I can kind of line stuff up along the grooves. Or along the lines, sorry, not the grooves. But there we go. So this calls for apple cider and then the little apple and pumpkin spice. So then I can put these, I've got my big block, and get that on there. See, it all comes up. And then I will ink this and I will put it here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Memento Black again. It's just a good color. There we go. So then just kind of put that right in the middle. So there we go. This calls for apple cider and pumpkin spice. Another thing I like about those clear stamps, you can kind of line them up or do whatever you need to do with them. So I thought that's exactly what it needed. So then if you wanted to, so that you could continue it, you could take one of the envelopes and on the envelopes you could put the little pumpkin and apple. And then just put them there. You could even put the two on the back too. And then if you wanted to color them in with the blends, you would take a sheet of cardstock that you could slip down in there. Oh, this one's too big. You would need one that's not as wide, and then you could put it down in there and color it so that it wouldn't go through on the back of the envelope. So, but this card is just a bit too wide. So that's another way you can jazz up your envelopes to go with your cards. Hope you enjoyed this cute little card. Like I said, it's very simple stamps, ink, paper, pretty easy to do. And I really do like some of these cards that are in the catalogs. They're really cute. They really are. Very easy to make. So thanks for sticking with me on this Monday, and I hope you will be back tomorrow night. I think I have found a cute little gift card holder, and I think this would be perfect for right now. You're giving gift cards out to go to the different coffee shops, so this will be perfect for that. And so thank you for being with me tonight, and have a great day.